Hi there, my name is Stanley Harris, and if you're watching this video, then you're probably trying to research or learn more about transition planning for your special needs students that are soon planning to attend college or university. In this video, we will be discussing several areas to help bring support for students with special needs transitioning to higher education. These areas are special education versus ADA, post-secondary education, employment and work skills, independent living, self-determination and self-advocacy, and healthy relationships. After this video, you should be able to understand the importance of transition planning and articulate and advocate transition planning for your students. Let's now look at the first area, special education versus ADA. Make no mistake about it, there are a number of students with disabilities that want to take advantage of what life has to offer, especially when it comes to furthering their education. However, we need to begin with an understanding of the general concepts of special education and the ADA. Special education is instruction that is specifically designed to meet the unique needs of a child with a disability. In other words, this means that education is individually developed to address a specific child's needs that result from his or her disability. This, according to the Center for Parent Information Resources, is just a general definition, as each child is unique and needs to have individualized education plans known as IEPs that are specific to his or her learning styles and needs according to the student's disability. The Individual with Disabilities Education Act, known as the IDEA, outlines 13 categories of special needs. They are autism spectrum disorder, deaf-blindness, deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impairments known as OHI, specific learning disability, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury known as TBI, and visual impairment, which includes blindness. In a nutshell, that is special education. But what about ADA? The American with Disabilities Act, known as the ADA, recognized in 1989 and passed as a law in 1990, states that Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, is a federal civil rights law that prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities in everyday activities. The ADA prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability. The ADA guarantees that people with disabilities have the same opportunities as everyone else to enjoy employment opportunities, purchase goods and services, and participate in state and local government programs. In addition to the 13 categories as defined by the IDEA, the ADA also includes all people with cancer, diabetes, HIV, epilepsy, and major depressive disorders as individuals that may need special support. To summarize, special education is education focused on unique needs of each individual. And the ADA supports for the rights of anyone with a diagnosed disability and may need special education services. Our second transition area for discussion is post-secondary education. Colleges and universities operate differently than elementary or secondary schools. It is extremely important to know these differences. First, colleges and universities do not follow the same rules as elementary and secondary schools because higher education institutions are not legally bound by the IDEA, which is why there are no IEPs for higher education. Secondly, in order for a student to be recognized as a special needs student in higher education, they first must be accepted into a college or university. After this, they will need to contact the school's disability services office and not the admissions office for special services and accommodations. Thirdly, documentation of the disability will need to be presented. This means that the special needs student will need to supply official documentation of the disability that they have to the disability office. And lastly, there are no designated paraprofessionals to help students learn in higher ed. In fact, students who even want updating regarding their disability will have to seek out their own medical and psychological professionals. Colleges and universities do not offer these services like that of elementary schools and secondary schools. Regardless of whether they go to college or choose to enter the workforce after high school, special needs students need to be able to be set up to transition to adult life successfully. Our third transition area for discussion is employment and work skills. Research conducted by Lamar University, a member of the Texas State University system, discovered that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the employment rate for people with disabilities between the ages of 16 and 64 was almost 35% in 2022. Compare that to almost 75% for people without disabilities in the same age group. Among the main reasons for this disparity are challenges with searching for and securing a job, the need for special accommodations in the workplace, and transportation to and from work. Special needs students face many obstacles when entering into employment. Such barriers can be that they may have grown up in an environment of low expectations in school. They may struggle with transportation. They may even lack knowledge about workplace accommodations that can be given to them, like assistive technology. And they may even have fewer opportunities to choose from. They may lack clear avenues that they can advance in their career. Or more so, their soft skills may be less than developed. Soft skills like communication, interpersonal skills, decision-making abilities, and broader lifelong learning skills such as self-reflection and self-evaluation. The fourth transition area for discussion is independent living. So what is independent living? Well, it's really about a choice, seeing to one's own affairs and pursuing talents and interests and passions and selfhood as independently as possible. According to the United States Department of Education, the only area in which post-secondary goals are not required in the IEP is in the area of independent living skills. Goals in the area of independent living are required only if appropriate. It is up to the child's IEP team to determine whether IEP goals related to the development of independent living skills are appropriate and necessary for the child to receive free and appropriate education. Some examples of living skills may include cooking, cleaning, hygienics, personal safety, situational awareness, transportation, and even social cues. The fifth transition area for discussion is self-determination and self-advocacy. These are pretty self-explanatory, but it is good to review them nonetheless. Self-determination is a combination of skills, knowledge, and beliefs that enable a person to engage in goal-directed, self-regulated, and autonomous behavior, whereas self-advocacy is nothing more than the ability to speak up for what they want and need. It's an expectation for success in both college and employment. Self-awareness and self-realization really are the two elements suggested as the basis for self-advocacy, according to Dahl, Sands, and Weimeyer. The last transition area for discussion is healthy relationships. We all enjoy nurturing and supportive relationships that are built on trust and acceptance. However, special needs students are at somewhat of a disadvantage when it comes to relationships. This is why it is important that a transition plan offers help for students moving forward into their adult life. Young people with disabilities need and want to learn about relationships and sexuality because it is important for healthy development and well-being. Those with disabilities and special health care needs need information from their trusted adults. In this way, they are prepared to engage in relationships that are safe, make safe decisions, effectively communicate consent or non-consent, and have positive relationships. Students who are at a disadvantage never ask to be put in that particular life scenario. However, as educators, let's try to break this chain and offer them a beam of hope that will best set them up for success after graduating. For more information, please review my resources. Thank you and have a blessed day.